Welcome to Bob Cargill's Marketing Show, a ridiculously awesome podcast bursting with insightful commentaries and intriguing conversations on the topics and issues that are on the minds of marketers, advertisers, social media, and PR professionals today. Hey, everybody, how are you? This is Bob Cargill, and this is Bob Cargill's Marketing Show.
And his wife?
Yeah, this is my wife, Barbara. She couldn't wait for me to introduce her. So you're going to hear all about my wife and from my wife, Barbara Cargill, during today's show. Does that not make it special or what? Episode 211. Yes, so we will talk about marketing. We will talk about advertising, social media, et cetera, but we may veer off track a little bit so that we can have some fun. This will probably be one of the more entertaining of my episodes and maybe amusing of my episodes. But I'm still going to talk about social media, and you're going to get Barbara's opinion on social media. And what I want to tell you before I get into the question and answer period with Barbara is what I've been up to lately, and that is, my usual running, and yesterday, when was it? Saturday. Yeah, I ran a fun run, and it was around the Burlington Mall. How about that for a fun run?
Outside the Burlington Mall.
Yeah, outside. I know. When I came home, I said...
It sounded like you went inside.
Yeah, I wasn't one of those people walking or...
I've done that.
I know.
I like mall walking.
I agree, and that's a thing, and I can see myself doing that in the future. But we actually ran, and we were outside, and it was hundreds of runners. It was fun, but it was hot. It was Saturday morning. This is Monday afternoon, so that was a couple of days ago. What did we do yesterday? We did something fun yesterday, Barb.
We went to East Boston.
We went to East Boston.
Wait, first we walked around Boston to look at all the FIFA soccer stuff.
Yes, we went in because we wanted to see the soccer excitement.
We walked 4 miles.
We walked 4 miles. Then Barbara got a blue bike, and I ran. We took the T to East Boston and ran 5 miles around East Boston. And I don't think either of us have ever. I don't recall ever having been to East Boston.
I've never been.
So it was our first time. So we're exploring the nooks and crannies. We tell people we don't travel much, but we do explore Boston.
A blue bike weighs 1,000 pounds. It's like a bus, driving a bus. It's very heavy. I fell off in the beginning.
So I'll get into business and marketing right away, Barb. So first of all, why is it called a blue bike?
Because it's blue.
Why are they blue?
Isn't it something with the hospital?
Blue Cross Blue Shield, I think that they sponsored them. Their names all over them. No, I think in each city, for some reason, I'm thinking New York is like city bike. That's what they call them, like for Citibank. I'm guessing. For some reason, I feel that, and it's a blue bike for Blue Cross Blue Shield and Boston. But they should be listening to this right now because Barbara's saying they're very heavy. They're like tanks, right?
And then to turn the gears, there's no clicking. It just back towards away is low gear. Towards you just have to yank it, and it's really hard, and I got a blister on my thumb.
Yeah, you also you kind of had a minor fall.
And I fell off. I was turning too hard.
And bruised yourself a little bit.
Just in the beginning.
But you managed, You
have to take wide turns like a bus.
Barbara is a trooper. I mean, she rides her bike with me all summer, let's say 6 months out of the year when the weather's good. And sometimes that's 15-mile runs, and she's riding her bike.
Easy. This was very hard. We only did 5 miles, and I felt like I rode 100. It was so hard for me.
Yesterday, yeah. So on the bike, in the heat.
It wasn't the hot. It was the weight of the bike. I couldn't do it. It was just too much.
This is what we did yesterday. And these are our kind of adventures. So the point was, we don't travel. We don't fly. Barbara is not a kind of...
I have a fear of flying.
She told you. I don't. I've done a lot of business travel.
Very irrational fear.
Well, that's what fear of flying is, and we all have different fears of different kinds, and that's yours. But we do go into Boston a lot, and we love exploring, and we're very spontaneous, and we're very easy going. We're not particular about what we do.
You say, where do you want to go? Wherever you want to go. Wherever you want to go. Whatever you want to do.
So that's what we did
I just want
yesterday.
To be with you.
Thank you. You're so sweet. See, you haven't seen, of all the episodes on my podcast, you haven't seen me kiss anybody. Yeah, it's because I haven't had my wife on my show. Let's get into a few things. I was saying what I've been up to. Running was one. Teaching is the other. You know, I love teaching, love being in the classroom. And in fact, I just got off a conference call with my colleagues at Northeastern, which is where I am currently teaching a course in social media. It's with grad students, College of Professional Studies, and they are all wicked smart, ridiculously awesome. And I'll be developing a new course this summer, teaching another online course this summer. And then in the fall, I teach 3 courses at Suffolk, business courses, marketing, and then a marketing course at Mass College of Pharmacy. And it's really my second career. And Barbara's seen me transition from the corporate life. I left corporate America in 2017, working at agencies, mid-sized, small agencies, also with some client-side agencies like Vistaprint, and back in the early days, RCA Direct Marketing and Warner Brothers and where else? Meredith Corporation. I was all before I met you, Barb, and life changed so much for the better. And we got married and had kids, and I had stepkids, and maybe that's the first question I'll throw. So enough with me and what I've been up to. You guys know what I do and who I am. We're going to introduce Barbara to you all, and she's going to tell you who she is and what she does. I'll introduce her by saying she's been my wife since when did we get married? 1995.
31 years.
31 years. Wow. And we have produced 2 kids, and Barbara has 2 from her first marriage. I have 2 stepchildren, awesome David, awesome Sophie, and we have awesome Scott and awesome Ben and awesome Lucy sitting somewhere nearby, our dog. But Barbara's going to tell you a little bit about her journey, maybe where you were born, maybe, or how we met, or I don't know what you do for work. Just say a few words and say hello, Barbara.
I was born in Flushing, Queens, New York City. Lived there. Then 1969, we moved across to New Jersey. I stayed there for 8 years, and then I came to BU in 1978, and I never left Boston. Never wanted to go back to New Jersey.
And why did you never leave Boston and never want to go back to Jersey?
Because it's the best city in the world.
Hear that, Boston?
If you're a Knicks fan, you know, New York's the best city in the world.
When I lived in New York, I thought
I was a Mets fan growing up. Total Mets fan.
I went to some Mets games. I went to some Yankees games when I was in New York in the early 80s, and I thought I'd never leave New York. But I am from Boston, or at least the Boston area. So
no, I knew the minute I got to Boston, I knew I was never going back. I loved the city.
I am glad you never went back.
The BU campus was Boston. It was great.
And I'm glad I came back from New York. I thought I'd never leave New York after I went to New York. So in a way, you staying here and me coming back, it was meant to be, Barbara, that we would meet and have such a long, happy marriage. And we got many, many more years to go. Right?
No, so.
We're not getting any older. We're getting better.
Life's going very fast right now.
It does. Well, as you get older, I mean, the years, you look and say, wait a minute. So that's why I wanted to have you on this podcast. We have to document our lives, and I believe strongly in that with regard to social media. I'm always on social media. I teach it. I preach it. I live on all the platforms, from LinkedIn to Facebook to Instagram to YouTube.
I don't live on all.
Even TikTok. Tell us about where do you spend your time on social media, and how? Tell us from the very beginning. What got you on social media? What do you love so much about social?
2008, that my daughter Sophie said, "You got to go on Facebook." So she set up a Facebook page, and I said, "I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it." I think I was hooked. That day, it was great, and then. You connect with everybody, and you go years after years of...
Didn't I have a little something to do in nudging you along on social, remember?
No.
You were kind of afraid of social and thinking, Facebook, you were thinking...
I just thought I wasn't interesting. I didn't have anything interesting or fun to say. But everyone does their own thing. Everyone's page is their own page of what they want to share. So I do good, bad, ugly... happy, sad. Lots of people just do fun, happy, good things, and that's fine. That's just what they want to do. But I like to have people see who I am.
Exactly. And Barbara, we've talked a lot incessantly about social media is an extension, I say this professionally and personally, of our lives. And so people do share what they want to share, and some people will only share the good. Some who are more transparent about their lives, and that's the good, the bad, and the ugly, because that's a part of everybody's lives. We have to admit, I would think. And some people avoid it altogether. And we are only right now talking about Facebook and using it for personal reasons.
I mean, our kids they don't do Facebook. I mean, they're on Facebook. They have a Facebook page, but that generation, they don't use Facebook. They're all Instagram. And I love Instagram. I have an Instagram account, but I don't post anything. I did for the first couple of years, and I guess now I just follow. I follow all types of people, not just people I physically know, I know personally, but...
Why were you afraid of social media in the beginning? And do you remember me writing that article?
I do remember that.
That's what I wanted to...
I do remember that.
Yeah, because you were...
I just, like I said...
I was... So Sophie convinced you, she nudged you along, but I also...
She did the paid, and she set the whole thing up for me.
But I was also telling you, you have a lot to say, and it doesn't even matter if you think you don't have anything to say, that human instinct is we want to connect with people, and we want to connect with them no matter what. That you don't have to be who I love, Noah Kahan, who I've been watching on YouTube, and his tour that just started recently. You don't have to be a rock star. You don't have to be Roman Anthony, great baseball player for the Red Sox. He's hurt right now, but just Barbara, just Bob, and this conversation. Hint, hint, will be on social media. I mean, and maybe it's not a big deal to anybody, but it's a big, it's part of our lives.
We just like to interact, not just obviously with each other, but we like to, wherever we're going, tell people what we're doing.
And why is that important, Barb?
So people, since they get to see our lives, the good times, the bad times, they just get to know us.
In that way, it's easier for them to connect to us to them. And that's the whole idea. That's the social and social media.
Like we just went to your high school reunion.
Yes.
Everybody's on it, and we got to see their lives, and you're not just saying, how are you? We already know, you have 5 kids, and you traveled here, and you were in the military, or you were here. It's just you really get to know people if you're really on it.
And think of that for business purposes, which is what I talk about and teach, how to use social media for business reasons. You get to know people, you become friends with them, and you respect them and trust them, and it's more likely than not that your business will be a greater success because you are present on social media. Now, if you reverse that, flip that, which we were just talking about, personal relationships, family, friends, how can it not do anything but help foster those relationships, keep them going, develop them, make them stronger? Like you said at my reunion, so many people knew that I wear these crazy yellow glasses and have seen my videos. So they would come up to me and talk to me, and vice versa. I knew what a lot of them would look like. I have followed their journeys. So we had icebreakers. We were able to, right away pick up where we leave off on social media. So it's a way of staying in touch with people when you otherwise couldn't. And you follow a lot of, so that's friends and family. And we do have a lot of friends and family on social, and we share a lot, and it keeps the relationships going, right?
Yeah.
But also you follow a lot of professionals. And by that, I mean, maybe it's comedians, maybe it's celebrities, maybe it's movie stars. Talk about that a little, Barb.
I watch a lot of shows, and but I watch it all. Well, I DVR a ton of things. I have limited time when I can watch stuff, so I follow the actors that are in shows I like.
Name one, please.
Sterling K. Brown. I'm watching Paradise again.
And I have no idea who that is, what the show is.
He was in This Is Us as well, which he didn't even watch. I've watched This Is Us 3 times through. I've watched Paradise. I'm on my 3rd time through. So I follow him. I follow his wife who's in it. I follow other comedians. I follow whatever show I'm watching. It seems like I'll just click on Instagram and I'll follow them.
So,
keep going. And The Bachelor, The Bachelorette,
Yeah,
Dancing with the Stars. I follow all of them.
Businesses, brands, listen to my wife Barbara and what you can be learning from her. But I think most of you know this, but are you practicing it on a regular basis? And that is being present on social and realizing where your audience comes from. And because they're following you 24/7 virtually. They don't have to just be watching your show from 9 to 10 o'clock on ABC or whatever, or on Netflix. They're like Barbara, watching it whenever from whatever device, and then following you in between shows. Correct, Barb?
Right. So it sounds so silly, but one of the dancers from Dancing with the Stars, she just had her third baby, followed her through her journey of being pregnant for the third time, and she's not on the show anymore, but I just love her life. She's got a great life, but I just love the content that she puts out. And then, what?
No.
Oh.
Keep going.
I'm trying to think.
I mentioned Noah Kahan earlier, and Noah
Kahan. I don't follow
Kahan.
musicians for some reason.
Well, you don't listen to a lot of the new music like I do, but the same points I would make about musicians that you're making about TV, movie stars, and that is they realize that that's how they connect with their audience. Noah Kahan, I believe, broke with Stick Season and doing that on TikTok, and I know he's on TikTok and social all the time now. He's a brilliant artist, but perhaps, I'm not saying this as a fact, but perhaps he might not have been discovered and catapulted to the astronomical success he has achieved if it wasn't for social media, because that's how you connect with your audience.
And then I also follow non-famous people, just people when you're scrolling through Instagram and then you click on. I just came across a guy that he's from the United States. He lives in Paris. He's very, he's in his 20s and he lives in the teeniest apartment, and I follow him now. He's just it's just fun to see different types of lifestyles
Barbara,
of non-famous people also.
You hear all my lines and adages and messages I share and preach, and I say put a face on the brand and a smile on your face. On cue, right on cue. And look I'm wearing my Smile Mask T-shirt. Lottie, you should be proud of me. I'm proud of you. You and your organization.
And Susan Brown, who I used to work
Susan
with.
Brown, yeah, they're doing so much good for so many people. And it's a great nonprofit organization, Smile Mask. But smile is important. And where I was going is people want to see people. Mark Zuckerberg, Jesse Eisenberg, playing Mark Zuckerberg in the movie The Social Network years ago, said when he founded Facebook in a college dorm in Harvard, not too far from where we are here in Sudbury, years ago when he was young, I tell my students this all the time, that, you can be a founder at a very young age and change the world. Mark Zuckerberg did, and he said Facebook, and actually it was called The Facebook. People want to see faces. And people want to see smiles on faces. And it doesn't matter if you're the rock star, Noah Kahan, or the celebrity, whoever Barbara watches. I can't even name. You already named
Sterling K. Brown.
Sterling K. Brown. Sterling A. Brown, Noah Kahan, Barbara Cargill, Bob Cargill, you, me, all of us, we want to see each other. And social allows us, enables us, makes it possible for us to share ourselves with each other and vice versa, and therefore connect. And there's no divide between us. The phone is another way of connecting, obviously, and in person's even better. But actually, as I always think on the fly, this is perfect because the phone, we're not picking it up.
I don't like the phone.
Yeah, a lot of people.
People just text me if they want.
It's interruptive. The phone is called interruptive communications, meaning it doesn't know what you're doing at the time, and you have to be ready for it and interrupt whatever you're doing to pick up. Whereas social allows you, on demand, like you watch your shows, it allows you to watch this interview at any time. It allows you to get back to people at any time. It's digital communications. It's modern communications. Speaking of, Barbara, the phone, because we've been around long enough. We've been around to say all this from experience. before the internet, before the phone, before these devices. That is how we communicate nowadays with. And who said, like 20 years ago, I said you'd be able to watch TV and movies on your phone.
That's how I watch all my shows, on my phone.
Yes, who said
you
that?
You did.
I'm trying to look for a little credit here.
Sorry.
Bob. She forgets me so
No,
many
I
times.
don't.
I'm kidding. Forgets that I said these things a long time ago. I also predicted reality TV.
Right, you said a camera should be in everyone's house, and I'd say, no, that's so boring. Like, no, it would be great to see everybody's day-to-day life.
When the first reality TV started, I said
It was the MTV. What was it called?
I don't know. I don't want to. What? Think. Tell me. Hint.
on MTV.
MTV. I know it. There was a reality TV show on MTV every year, new season, and they followed these people all thrown together in a house. But where I'm going is, I said, it could be anybody on reality TV, and that's what the internet is enabled. Because if you go on YouTube, you will see anybody. What Barbara's saying, you can follow anybody on social, and some of you out there listening or watching, you may be one of those people who are influencers or ambassadors or vloggers, people who make a living or just use it for fun on social media. Make a living on social media, use it for fun on social media, business, personal. There's so many different ways and reasons, ways to use it and reasons to use it. And Barbara was saying Instagram. Instagram is the popular channel right now. Facebook, though, is predominant. 90%, I think, of this country has a Facebook account. It's hard to think, how can we ignore that?
I love Instagram, though.
You love Instagram. What is so great about Instagram? And by the way, Instagram owned by Facebook, Meta. It's the same company.
You just go down a rabbit hole. All of a sudden, you just keep scrolling, and you're watching stories of people, and all people that are not, they're just everyday people.
So am I right? You learn a lot about people that you wouldn't otherwise have learned.
Yeah.
And it keeps you in touch with pop culture.
A guy who he's a lawn guy, and he cuts people's lawns for free. It's in the Midwest somewhere, and I forgot his name. SB Mowing. That's what it's called.
SB Mowing?
SB Mowing. I love it.
SB or FB? SB Mowing.
And he goes to houses that are just run down. I'll knock on the house. No one's, it's always abandoned. Or someone does live there. Just recently, it's happened twice in the years that he's been on Instagram. And a woman, an older woman, has disabilities, physical disabilities. She just couldn't take care of her lawn. No one would help her. He does it for free. He ended up doing this whole GoFundMe and changed her life considerably.
That's amazing.
Little people like that who are big people in my Instagram.
See that?
And then you go, and then you just keep going through the Instagram rabbit hole.
Right, for good or bad. Meaning, yes, right. the naysayers, the Luddites, the people who are anti-social, and they are out there. We know that. Will say that rabbit hole is a waste of time, but we're trying to make the point. But it can also be good. You could be looking for a church in the community where you recently moved, and you find a church through social media. You can be looking for a job, and you find that through social media. You can be looking to meet neighbors, or you could be looking for a date.
There's so many groups. There's so many groups that you feel that you find you're searching for something. And then up pops all these groups that help. It's all private groups. And then you're connected with a whole world that you, in the beginning, felt so alone. Because if you feel like you're the only one going through something, and then you just put in, the search bar of whatever you're going through.
Yeah, like a physical or
emotional.
Right, mental health, physical health, financial insecurity. So many ways to use social media to answer questions, solve your problems, build a community, lead a community, follow others to become.
If you're sick,
or alone,
you feel like you're the only one who's going through this.
Why doesn't this message get out there enough? I feel what we see on the news, and those who don't use social media this is all they see are the negative headlines. Am I right? What do you think? Why does social media get a bad rap?
Because I don't know.
Well, am I right? Do we see mostly just the negative? We don't see the...
Definitely on regular news, they're just showing what's the horrible things, but...
Because they normally do. So they pick the horrible things, because that's news. It's car crashes and fires and social media is, you're going to get addicted to it.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? But they say it in a bad way, as opposed to, as I just did the other day, a video about TV being called the idiot box back in the day, but everyone has a TV in their house, and we don't say you're addicted to TV, but aren't people addicted to TV? Aren't people addicted to driving? I mean, frankly, let's go down that rabbit hole, drugs and alcohol, things that are really, we have to admit, aren't necessarily good for you. People are addicted to. So what is wrong with a moderate addiction to social media if it's helping you? You know what I mean?
Hey man, when I fell asleep at the Knicks game and I wanted to know who won at the end of the game. 1:00, I looked at my phone. My phone's always on.
So
it's like, they won.
We're pointing out the phone, the biggest change in our lifetimes, greatest invention. And
you're more online. I mean, I'm always on my phone.
But
your work is this.
I get 3 monitors in front of me. I adopted, or should I say embraced, adopted. It does feel like it's a family member, social media and digital communications right from the get-go. But that's because I'm in communication. I've been a writer my whole life. I was a direct mail person, professional for many, many years until the internet. And then I became an email guy and a social media guy. It's how I've made my career. But I just always wanted to communicate. I wanted to either speak or write in order to connect with people. And I use the tools that are available to me. And I see the negative, of course, but I feel that if more people are educated on how to use social media for good reasons and realize the benefits, it might not get such a bad rap. What about YouTube, Barbara? You don't go on YouTube too much, but I do.
There's some shows I can watch on YouTube.
Okay, there you go.
But I look at YouTube for lots of things.
And
for my grandchildren, I'll put on, you just go on YouTube and you plug in a book that they love, and then there's an audio book, and then they get to, if you're not with the book right there.
And you share a lot about your grandchildren, you with them on Facebook, and tell us about that, like Thursdays with Evie and Isaac or something like that.
I take care of my grandchildren Wednesdays and Thursdays. And I also work in a preschool on the other days. And I didn't want to show it at first, and because I thought, who wants to see, little kids or just your grandchildren? But it's like, whatever, that's my life of what I do. So I'll do Wednesdays with the two, and then Thursdays also, I'll just put up a video of whatever we're doing if we're at wherever we are. And, I know it's boring to some people, but I like looking at it.
What you just said again, boring to some people, they can just scroll on by.
Right, keep going. If you don't...
But that's the thing. You curate as a viewer, as a user of social media, that which you are interested in, those who are close to you, and that's personally and professionally. And it makes, to me, so much sense.
And that's the only way people that I know are going to see these little kids who I'm with.
Correct.
My grandchildren. They're, they live very far away. We don't travel. We don't go anywhere. But, here's two little kids I take care of. You want to see something fun I did?
My family and a lot of families, you look at old photo albums. You
mean your growing up family?
My growing up family, yeah. And it's family, our family, a little too. We have photo albums up in the attic, let's say.
No, ours are right here.
But we have photo albums and we have paper. I mean, because we lived before the internet. We have piles of paper. There's still piles of paper around my home office right here. So it's not like we don't use traditional, older methods of communications, or it certainly didn't grow. Certainly, we did grow up with those methods of communication, but we realized that today with all these technologies, it seems to make sense to document our lives with the modern technology, and that way leave our legacies that way, and that way communicate with, again, friends, family, etc., even complete strangers that way. But what I was going to say is, do you agree? I mean, why would we not put everything in other people? But I know it's a personal choice. That's what we have to
Well,
accept.
most people don't want to share
So
any of themselves.
you just said most people. What? I don't know the percentage.
I don't know either, but
Do you think more people than not want to share or don't want to share? Because
people I know don't want to share.
well, what I'm going to say, 90% of this country approximately has a Facebook account, or let's say 80 to 90%. That to me would say more people want to than not.
I think a lot of people just look. Like with me on
Agreed.
Instagram, I don't do Instagram anymore, but I look. I love to look at everything on Instagram and follow the people I want on Instagram, but I don't post on Instagram, but I post on Facebook.
So there's the 99-1 rule that I explain to my students. It's made up and it's hypothetical and very general, but 90% are looking, 9% are sharing here and there, 1% are sharing every day, like your husband and other content creators. But those are the ones who get followed. Those are the ones who, and they're also doing us a good deed by creating that content that will inform us and entertain us and educate us. We need more content creators. And the lurkers, which I used to call them, who are on social just to look. I mean, I'm glad they're at least doing that. That's like people sitting behind their TV set. But social media, the whole idea of it in the beginning and still is, social means interacting, not just looking, not just one way. So if you're just looking, it's like walking by somebody and they say hello to you and you don't say anything. You're just looking. You're not interacting.
Weren't there I've sent messages on Instagram to famous people, and two messaged me back.
There you go. So they're following best practices. I would applaud
And I know
them.
it wasn't written by a team or anything. I know it was this one actress that messaged me back.
Bob, Peter Frampton got back to me. I've had celebrities, big, famous, I can't think to name all the different people. Those people I will, it's like back in the day, if you wrote a letter to them and they'd write you back. Like,
I wrote letters
Yeah.
to Bobby Sherman and Davy Jones.
I was a big fan of the Monkees. I read with my sister 16 magazine and was a big fanboy of a lot of celebrities and artists and rock bands. It's, again, this is the modern, but it's not modern anymore. It's the way we communicate, and maybe it's more the older generation that holds on to the older traditional methods. But I'll tie it back to business because, again, a lot of people listen to this podcast for business reasons, and we're winding it down within a few minutes. She said it's going. She said it's going long. We're going to wind it down. We're at 33 minutes, Barbara. This is my usual podcast, 30 to 40 minutes. I'll wind it down. It's not at all. See, this is how people usually think.
That's how I think.
People who are listening because they're interested. We may have lost a few listeners.
I know
we may have gained a few listeners. What was I saying? I was saying some really good point, I thought, and I totally lost my train of thought. I was saying something.
Sorry.
Oh, honey, now I'm embarrassed. I'd have to rewind, and I can't do that. But I'm trying to say that. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Businesses, I do exactly remember. So for personal reasons, people are a little bit afraid of privacy, frankly, I think intellectually lazy. That's just me. Don't take that personally, anybody. That they're not sharing content. So a little bit, they want privacy, a little bit lazy, a little bit don't know how to do it. But businesses, so that's their personal choice. Totally. I get it. Respect it. Support it. We are who we are. But businesses, if that's a choice you're making, whether it's intentional or inadvertent, you're making a big mistake that you could fall dangerously far behind. Because listen, what we're saying about celebrities, artists, businesses, people, that following them benefits them, that we follow them, that we listen to them, that we see them. It helps them as much as it helps us. It's quid pro quo. It's mutually beneficial. So why would a business, why would an artist, why would a celebrity not use social media and be conspicuous in their presence? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because if you don't see them on social, don't you miss them, and don't you maybe not pay any attention to them and say, where the heck are you? I want to see you on social in between.
One of my favorite people, I follow a lot of people from Survivor because I love the show. Watch it since season 1. It's been 50 seasons. She just had her second baby. I follow every day. She's posting something about her new baby and her 1.5-year-old, and it's just wonderful. And she said, I'm going to be off social media just for like 3 days. And I'm like, no.
Yes.
Because I really miss her.
Did you say who that was?
Kenzie Petty is her name from Survivor.
This is important.
I love her.
Bob, so I'm a strategist with regard to social media.
And then when she came back, I was all excited.
I could easily clip this little 60, 90 seconds and tag her. And
She'd get back to me.
We could thank her for doing what she does as movies.
No, she was in Survivor. She won
Survivor.
One of the seasons.
Is she going on to movies and TV?
No, she just had a second baby.
Oh, so back to regular life.
She owns her own hair salon, and I knew when she first got on Survivor, I clicked immediately, follow her, and she won. Oh, sorry.
No. I make all kinds of gestures and mannerisms. You know them.
That's what I do.
She thinks I'm on duty, though, that I'm like the host of the show. No, you don't. Just interrupt me or keep going just like we would normally. So she's talking about the winner of Survivor?
Survivor 47, I think.
47. Who's counting? I haven't watched any one of them. Maybe a few shows in the whole 100 seasons or how many?
50.
50. What do I know? Barbara's saying that because she's on social, she endears herself to Barbara, and I'm saying to businesses, we're winding down now, and this is a big point. People, family, friends, neighbors, teammates, colleagues, even complete strangers, businesses, brands, products, services that you have to offer, artists, celebrities. Why would you not be on social media using it and sharing yourself on social and entertaining people and informing people and educating people and inspiring people? Why would you not be doing all of that when you know it is a fact that would endear you to your fans and your loved ones? Am I right, Barbara?
Mm-hmm. Something probably totally unrelated. You click on one thing on Instagram and then you get tons of whatever product.
That's the algorithm. Yeah, right. And there's that. We can talk about that.
But it's great. And then you look at, I'm looking at steamer, household steamers for your floor, for your grout and all that stupid stuff. Now I get,
So that's advertising. And I love that you brought that up. And this may add a few minutes to this episode. Well, my dad used to say, not like ads on TV or the radio. And I used to say, even at a young age, I knew that's what pays for it. That's why we can listen to TV, listen to the radio, and watch TV for free. Same with social media. And as a marketer, it's brilliant. It's targeted marketing. We are supposed to, as consumers, get advertising that's tailored to us based on our viewing habits, our listening habits, where we scroll, where we end up, who we follow, who we interact with. So that's the marketing side of it. And that pays for the consumer to get to use these platforms for free. So it's a quid pro quo. It's a mutual beneficial situation. If you don't like ads, scroll on by or maybe pay for the premium service and don't get any ads. But if you don't mind ads,
I don't mind the ads. That's how we find out about our new sneakers. That
there
I want
you
to
go.
Wear for Jazzercise.
And that's why everything's going social. Everything's going off of regular broadcast and traditional mainstream legacy media. It's going to social. It's going to AI very quickly too, Barbara. And we could talk about that on another episode.
It's very late.
Yeah, it's getting late. We're almost at, it's almost, Barbara's talking real time getting late. It's like 6:35 here on Monday the 15th. I have to go maybe run or get
We'll
some
take a walk.
exercise. Yeah,
We'll walk
we're
through
up
that.
against the clock. 40 minutes or so for this episode. And who would have thunk it, Barbara, when you were a little bit hesitant
I
to
didn't
get
want to do
on?
this at all.
And she said, "What am I going to answer for questions?" And I wrote down a bunch of
Because
questions.
I feel like I'm a very blah person. Like
You're
I'm
not.
a boring. I have nothing to say.
I think the
I
opposite.
do the same things every day. Every day, every night, I do the same things.
Most
That's
people
no fun.
live lives of this. Most people live lives similarly, but that's why, in fact, that we're interested in other people's lives, to realize that day in and day out, we're all got to earn a living and get through the day. But it is quite interesting how we go about that and what we have to say, and to get back to my main point about social media, sharing that. We all are, it's main character syndrome. We all are stars in our own show, and we have co-stars, and we have, what do they call the people in the back?
Extras.
They have extras. We have extras. And I think what my main point, and I'll end with this, businesses, brands, people in general, be the main character in your story and share that story with the world. It's helping the extras who are looking for you. They and the audience who wants to tune in. That's even more important. There are extras in your show and co-stars in your show. You're the star. Yes, it's the audience you are sharing the show with, and that's documenting. You don't have to create. You just put yourself on day in and day out and share the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you'll be relatable to others, and you will find that there are just as many people that you want to follow as people who want to follow you back. And again, that's the quid pro quo. That's the mutual benefit of using social media. Agree, Bob?
Great.
She's just saying, let's go. We are going to go.
I got things to do.
We're going to break. This has been episode 211 of Bob Cargill's Marketing Show with Who Would Have Thunk It? My wife, Barbara Cargill. Did you have a good time, Barb?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Audience, did you have a good time? Yay! Yay, we're so glad you had a good time. Watching on YouTube, listening to my podcast, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, and my podcast is one of your favorites, right?
Right.
Right. And we'll end it with what is become a mantra of ours, certainly mine, and when Barbara declares this mantra with me, exclaims this mantra with me, it becomes extra special. And that is, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, we hope you are having a ridiculously awesome day.